Chapter 6: Materials around us. Objects around us. Materials are substances or things that are used to create objects. They can be natural, like wood or soil, or synthetic, like plastic or metal. For example, a wooden chair is made from wood, a glass bottle is made from glass, and a plastic pen is made from plastic. Grouping of materials. Grouping of materials means organizing objects based on common properties such as color, texture, hardness, softness, or the material they are made from. This process is called classification. It helps us understand how different materials behave and how they can be used. Each material has special properties that make it better suited for certain purposes. Materials like wood, plastic, metal, and fabric have their own strengths and flexibility which influence how they are used. Different materials can be used to make the same object, like a chair can be made from wood, metal, or plastic. Similarly, utensils should be made from materials like metal, as they can handle high heat without getting damaged or burned. Paper or cloth would not be suitable for making utensils because they burn easily. We often see balls of similar size, but they are made from different materials. A cricket ball is made from leather, a tennis ball is made from rubber, and a hand exercise ball is made from soft rubber or foam. The material used to make a ball affects how it behaves during the game or exercise. Different properties of materials. Let us explore some other properties of materials. Appearance of materials. The appearance of materials refers to how they look, including their color, texture, shine, etc. Lustrous materials are the materials that have shiny surface and reflect light. Some metals may lose their luster over time due to the effects of air and moisture, causing them to appear non-lustrous. For example, iron, copper, aluminium, gold, and zinc. Non-lustrous materials are the materials that do not have shiny appearance and do not reflect light. For example, wood, paper, and rubber. Rough materials. Rough materials have an uneven surface that can be felt when touched. For example, rocks, sandpaper, and the bark of a tree. Smooth materials. Smooth materials have a flat and even surface. For example, mirror, a glass sheet, and silk fabric. Hard or soft materials. Hard materials are difficult to compress or scratch. For example, stones, iron, and wood. Soft materials are easier to compress and scratch. For example, rubber, sponges, and eraser. Transparent, translucent, and opaque materials. Materials can be classified into three types based on how much light they allow to pass through them. Transparent materials are those through which we can see clearly. These materials allow light to pass through them completely without blocking the view. For example, glass, water, and cellophane sheet. Translucent materials are those through which we can see some light, but not a clear image. They blur the view while still allowing some light to pass through them. For example, frosted glass, butter paper, and sheer curtain. Opaque materials are materials through which we cannot see. They do not allow any light to pass through them. For example, wood, metal, and cardboard. Soluble and insoluble materials. The materials that completely disappear when mixed in water are called soluble materials. For example, sugar and salt are soluble in water. Some materials do not mix with water and do not disappear even if we stir them for a long time. These are called insoluble materials. For example, chalk powder, sand, and sawdust. Mixing of liquids and gases with water. Some liquids dissolve completely in water, while others do not dissolve completely and form a separate layer. Similarly, some gases also dissolve in water. For example, oxygen gas dissolves in water, which is necessary for the survival of aquatic plants and animals. Heavy and light materials. Materials can be classified as heavy or light based on their weight. The weight of a material depends on its mass. Heavier objects have more mass, while lighter objects have less mass. We can measure mass using a weighing balance. Space and volume. Space is the empty area all around us where everything exists. Everything around us occupies space, whether it is a solid, a liquid, or a gas. The space occupied by an object can be measured by its volume. For example, when you pour water into two glasses, the water level can be different, even though both glasses have the same capacity. This shows that the volume of water in each glass is different. Matter. All materials around us are examples of matter. Matter is anything that has mass and occupies space. The units to measure mass are grams and kilogram, and the units to measure volume are liter and milliliter. Thus, mass tells us how much matter is in an object, and the volume tells us how much space it occupies.